Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have an unboxing video to do this week, and it is something new that the nice folks at Compass Games were kind enough to send me. This is the Lamps Are Going Out 2nd Edition. This is a World War I game designed by Kirk Ullman, and it was first I saw it on tables at conventions several years ago, and at the time I was kind of in the deepest throes of a Paths of Glory fix, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but it is very well regarded, and it is quite exciting to see it back in print. And let's take a look at the components. So this is a really interesting looking game. It's in the standard 2-inch Compass Games box, and the folks who are more familiar with the first edition are going to have to let me know in the comments whether this is a components upgrade or not, but I'm guessing that it is because it feels like the map is mounted, and I'm reasonably sure, I could be wrong, that the first edition did not have a mounted map. So let's open her up and see what we get. So we first of all have a cellophane packet of 4 6-sided dice. Here is reference or illustrations in the rulebook that shows the British Isles as a 5, factory is wrong, the factory is a 4. Okay, that's interesting. Let's if it says that on the board, I think we're going to be good. So we have a rule book. Okay, very shiny rule book, actually. Some cards. Let's look at the cards in a minute. 36-page. The cover is glossier than the rest of the pages, but the rest of the pages are semi-gloss as well. Full color. The print is not too terribly small. For those of I for a long time was happy to deal with tiny print, and I'm just less able to do that now than I used to be. If the lighting's good, it's not much of a problem, but a lot of times it is. And certainly this is nice big. It's not like a large print per se, but it's nice big print. I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem with it. All right, so we have 2 decks of cards. Let's take a look. Now, to what extent this is a card-driven game, I am unqualified to say at this point, because like I said, I had not given this a look until relatively recently. But I like the look of the cards. And I know there's technology cards, there's event cards. Looks like there's a by country. Is that what's going on? So, but for Germany, for Western Allies, for Triple Entente, for Central Allies, Eastern Allies. Very interesting. Very interesting. Does Austria-Hungary not get cards? I wonder if they're in the other deck. Let's find out. So it looks like there's looks like not quite, we'll put this away later. Looks like not quite traditional card-driven mechanic, at least. Central Allies is probably the Austrians, actually. And looks like the Turks, too. Okay. Eastern Allies. Eastern Allies, I guess, is the U.S. and Russia. Interesting. So you can tell by the flags. Actually, that's rather nice. And then Western Allies is the French, the British, and the Italians. That's quite an interesting way to break that down, actually. So that's pretty neat. Okay, so what else is in the box? It is a mounted map. I'll tell you that right now. So we have a whole nother second booklet. Design Notes 2nd Edition. It's, again, the cover is on a really exceptionally glossy stock, but the inside is in not quite as glossy of a stock. And it looks like this pretty much just picks up where the rulebook left off, with commentary on the cards, which is always nice, with historical context for each card, which is also really nice. Do we have an example of play? We do. That's in the rule book rather than in the sort of supplementary rule book that doesn't have a cover. Okay. And then we have some player aid cards. Central Powers Player Aid. And then on the back, we have a reference card of some kind. Okay. And then, so it looks like there's 4. 2 for the Entente and 2 for the Central Powers. Okay, and then we have counters. So these are the thick stock pre-rounded counters. So those of you who chafe at the idea of having to clip your own counters, you won't have to deal with it here. And again, I'm not sure if this represents an upgrade to the original printing of The Lamps Are Going Out, but I suspect that it does. So we got 2 sheets of these, and we can pretty much see the color codes are pretty much lined up with the factional breakdowns that we saw on the cards. So we have like Eastern Allies, which are both the Russians and the Americans, are the same color. You can tell by the flags on them. And then we have the Western Allies, which are the French, the British, and the Italians, and they're all this color. And then we have Germany, which gets its own thing, and then the Central Allies, which are the Austro-Hungarians, the Turks, and the Bulgarians, it looks like. And then really a pretty, whoops, we lost one. We have lost one, man down. Looks like we have a very small number of markers. Like I said, I talked to some guys who were playing this at Buckeye Game Fest, I think. This is probably 4 or 5 years ago now. I might be misremembering the exact timing. And they spoke very highly of it. So let's take a look. Let's see if I can clear some space here so that we can actually get a decent look at the board. And hopefully I didn't just bang the camera, but I probably did. So sorry about that. Art. I don't know if this is the same art as the original printing or not, but I like the board. It's got a nice sort of coated feel to it. It doesn't lay perfectly flat straight out of the box, but it's pretty close. And I find that to be the case a lot less than I would like it to be the case. Like I said, I'm not sure if the art has changed or any of that, because I have never owned the first edition, but I'm actually quite interested, because World War I, turns out, is a really interesting topic when a game is designed well around it. So I'm actually super interested in getting this to the table. Very nice. And the map is attractive, and it's nice mounted board, and I mean it's laying flatter, just me sitting here breathing on it. So very nice mounted map. And again, I did not get a chance to do the research on the first edition components to find out whether to what extent the components are upgraded, but I'm reasonably certain that they certainly did not have a mounted map. So The Lamps Are Going Out, 2nd edition, brand new from Compass Games. Check it out. I will put a link to the product page over at Compass Games in the video description if you are interested in checking it out. And thanks to Compass for sending me this. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to get notified when new content comes out. And please check out the Ardwulf's Lair Patreon and merch stores if you would like to support Ardwulf's Lair. There are links to those in the video description as well. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, happy wargaming.